Hi everybody, I'm Noah Schwartz, and welcome into an Election Day edition of Blunation. That is, unless you're watching a rerun in March, then it's just a normal day. Anyway, this is your home for the biggest sports news, both with pro sports and with the Blue Golds. So let's get started. We start off with the Blue Gold football team, who hit the road to take on the UW-Platteville Pioneers on Saturday. On a rainy day with winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour, the Blue Golds again took to the ground game as sophomore running back Ivan Rubel followed up a 117-yard performance against Stevens Point with 125 more rushing yards in this matchup. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough, as despite a close first half, the Blue Golds lost to Platteville 38-14. The loss drops Eau Claire down to 2-7 on the season. They'll close out their season at home on Saturday against UW-Oshkosh. As always, if you can't make it to the game, Justin and I will have the call streaming live on Blue Gold Game Day. Kickoff is at 1:10 p.m. In the other kind of football, the Blue Gold men's soccer team has done what most people would consider impossible. In only their second year as a program, the 18-2 Blue Golds have earned a Pool B bid in the NCAA tournament. The team's first ever crack at the playoffs will come on Saturday against Luther College. And the good news continues with the Blue Gold volleyball team, who have earned an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. The defending national champion Blue Golds have struggled compared to last season, going 21-9 and losing to UW-Platteville in the first round of the WIAC tournament. The Blue Golds are currently ranked at number 22 in the nation, and they're set to take on Gustavus Adolphus in the first round of the NCAA tournament Thursday at 12:30. And the Blue Gold women's soccer team was in action on Saturday in the WIAC championship game against UW-La Crosse. After falling behind 2-0 in the early going, the Blue Golds rallied back to tie the game in the second half thanks to goals from senior Emma Stange and junior Sydney Spencer. Unfortunately for the Blue Golds, La Crosse would add a late goal, and that would be the difference, as Eau Claire would lose 3-2 in heartbreaking fashion. The team finishes their season as the conference runner-up with a record of 13-6-2. We congratulate them on a great season. In pro sports now, the Brooklyn Nets have found the headlines yet again this week as their outspoken star player Kyrie Irving was suspended by the team for at least 5 games on Thursday for failing to denounce anti-Semitism. The Nets released a statement saying, quote, "Such failure to disavow anti-Semitism when giving a clear opportunity to do so is deeply disturbing, is against the values of our organization, and constitutes conduct detrimental to the team. Accordingly, we are of the view that he is currently unfit to be associated with the Brooklyn Nets," end quote. In order to be reinstated, Irving must meet 6 requirements set by the franchise, which includes issuing an apology, making clear that he does not have any anti-Jewish beliefs, and meeting with the leaders of the Jewish community in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts left many scratching their heads yesterday by firing head coach Frank Reich after an underwhelming but not terrible 3-5-1 start to the season. Reich, who was the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, made the playoffs twice in 5 years in Indy and had accumulated a winning overall record. Even more surprisingly was the Colts owner Jim Irsay's choice for a replacement, former Colts center Jeff Saturday. Saturday won a Super Bowl with the Colts as a player, but has no coaching experience above the high school level and won't even be calling the plays for the Colts. Not to be outdone, another owner is making headlines too this week, as finally, mercifully, after a 2-decade-long reign of error as the owner of the NFL franchise in Washington, D.C., now called the Commanders, Dan Snyder is finally exploring a possible sale of the team. The list of Snyder's blunders, missteps, and scandals as an owner is almost too long to recount. We'll try our best here with the help of his Wikipedia page. In Snyder's 23 seasons, the team has had 10 different head coaches, a sub-500 winning percentage, and just 6 playoff berths. He spent almost his entire tenure as owner and millions of dollars of PR work in order to defend the team's former nickname, which was defined as offensive by the Oxford English Dictionary. He was accused of sexual assault by 40 female employees, as detailed by the Washington Post, for which he was investigated by Congress. He was also investigated by Congress for allegedly underreporting ticket sale revenue in order to pay less taxes and less in fees to the league, And worst of all, when he did finally change the team's name earlier this year, he made the uniforms look like crap. Good riddance. The good news is that the foremost frontrunner to buy the team is Jeff Bezos. Well, anyway, there's more Blue Nation coming up, but first, here's a look at this week's schedule for the Blue Golds.